Guys, it's been a while. So I'm really sorry. I haven't really been making any long form content for probably a couple years now. I think my crafts vlog from 2023 is probably the last thing I've posted on here as long form content. I'm really sorry. I just simply fell in love with some short form content just because it's so much easier. And even as a consumer, I just love short form. It's just nice to mindlessly flick through my TikTok feed and not really commit to anything, you know? But I'm trying to change that because at the end of the day, YouTube was my first love when it came to social media content, and I just want to bring it back. I cannot guarantee very regular uploads because I still, even now, prefer short form content as a creator, but I want to take you along with me to events and conferences and all sorts. So if you want to tag along for some long form stuff, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and even the notification bell. I don't think it still works incredibly well, but you know, give it a go, see what happens. And if this happens to be the very first video of mine you're seeing, hello, my name is Maria. I am a dog groomer and a content creator, if you couldn't guess from that entire blurb. If you count when I started my training, I have been grooming dogs for about 8 years now, and I've had my very own salon for just over 4 years. And in the past 2 years, life has been pretty wild. I have become a brand ambassador for Peanut and Pickle shampoo. I'm also a brand ambassador for my choice of leggings. This is Locket Loves. I will put both my discount codes in the description below. I am now an award winner. I won Dog Grooming Tutor of the Year at this year's Animal Star Awards, and I am so incredibly proud of that achievement, considering I started this channel 5 years ago just to keep my mind busy during the COVID lockdowns. To see where I have come in these 5 years is just phenomenal. I'm also up for a Liz Paul Achievement Award in the TikTok Stylist of the Year category. I will pop the voting link in the description as well, so if you feel like I deserve to win that, I would really appreciate your vote. But I wanted to get back into long form content with a bit of a Q&A. So I posted a video on TikTok and a story on Instagram asking for any questions, whether it was personal, about dogs, dog grooming, literally anything. So I have picked my favorite ones out of them, and I'm just gonna go through them with you guys now. What's your accent? Nice and easy to start off with. I am from Finland. I moved to England when I was 18 years old. I'm now 33. Nearly 34, so I've been here my entire adult life, and I did actually start learning English when I was about 6 years old, so it's been a part of my life from a very young age. I use English as my daily language as well, so my accent over the years has changed dramatically, and I really definitely don't sound Finnish anymore. What got you into dog grooming? I just got really sick of customer service. I know this sounds really weird, but I just don't like interacting with people. I know I still have to do it as a part of my job as a dog groomer, but I just prefer spending my days with animals and having very minimal daily interaction with human beings. And now, if you are any of my clients listening to this, I adore you all. I just have a very limited social battery, you know. I just much prefer being in my own little nest and not deal with people. So one day my husband sat me down and went, right, we are done with these dead-end retail jobs. Pick something that you enjoy, study for a new industry, and do something that you actually want to for the rest of your life. And it was a choice between vet nursing or dog grooming, and I don't think I would have the heart to do vet nursing, so here I am. What made you want to make videos? So I already briefly touched on this at the start of the video. I just wanted something to do during COVID when I was sat at home not working, and I've always been a massive consumer of YouTube anyway, and back then I was watching a lot of like lifestyle and makeup and fitness influencers, and I thought that, oh, that would be really fun as content for dog groomers. So from the very beginning, a lot of my content has been product reviews, just chatting about daily life as a groomer, some educational stuff towards both groomers and dog owners, and just everything in between. And I just really enjoy it. I took a very long posting break in September of last year because of burnout, and I just really missed it. I wasn't mentally or physically able to make content for a little while, but I wouldn't stop thinking about it. And I've been back to regular short form content since, I want to say April or May, and I couldn't be without it. I love it. I make no money out of it, but I love it. What would you do for a living if you weren't a groomer? I think about this all the time. I have got a really bad back, so I am fully aware that this is not going to be something that I will do for the rest of my life until I retire. So sort of looking at my skill set now, I would probably go more full-time into social media in some form. So whether that is making content for someone else, managing someone's social media accounts, or teaching others about social media, is probably going to be in that kind of region. But honestly, as long as I don't have to go back into retail jobs, I think I'll be very happy. Do you think a level 2 grooming course is enough to start a business? Short answer, no, absolutely not. I don't know what level 2 courses are like at the moment, but my course was more about bath and prep and the occasional clip of spaniel. It definitely was not enough knowledge to run a business and see all the varying different types of dogs that we see in a salon environment every single day. If you're able to, I would definitely get at least work experience in a salon, or if you can, get a trainee position at a salon and work there for at least a year before you even think about your own business. I know that's not always easy or possible, but the thing is, as good as these training courses are, they just do not do enough to prepare you for the real world. For example, I didn't get any business training on my course. I didn't see any aggressive dogs or dogs that simply just didn't want to be groomed. All of our dogs on my course were very lovely. They just kind of stood there and let us get on with it. But that is not reality. A big chunk of your clients are not going to want to be groomed. And if you don't have that hands-on experience with them while you're training, you are probably not going to handle them very well when they are on your own table in your own salon. So in short, no, please go and find employed work somewhere first. Why did you choose Peanut and Pickle? I bought some to try, but it didn't really gel with me. I think shampoos are really personal. I've tried loads of different shampoo brands over the years, both while I was employed at another salon and while I've had my own, because I honestly just love trying stuff. And unfortunately, my skin just reacts with a lot of shampoos. I've tried to figure out a common ingredient in them, but it doesn't always work because not every brand lists all of their ingredients on their bottles. But Peanut and Pickle so far for me has been that one stable product that has not caused any issues with my hands, and it has been the brand that I've used in my salon for the last 4 years. I am a brand ambassador for them. I just genuinely adore every single one of their products. What do you advise for me to buy as someone new and starting a grooming course, please? Honestly, I would invest in a really good quality equipment straight off the bat. Don't go for the cheap Amazon special clippers and scissors, because you are most likely just buying something really poor quality that you're probably going to have to replace pretty soon. In terms of your clippers, I personally use the Heinegger Sapphires. I have had the same pair of clippers for probably about 6 years now. They've been serviced a handful of times and they still work like a dream. Same with scissors. Now, admittedly, I do try different types of scissors quite regularly just for content purposes. So my scissor selection kind of rotates around and refreshes every sort of 6 to 12 months. But investing in good quality steel, because you simply get a better quality metal that holds the sharp edge for longer, it's easier to sharpen and you get more sharpens out of it as well. And the same goes with your blades. You don't want to buy the cheapest possible ones, because again, you're probably getting a softer metal that just doesn't hold up as much. But in terms of a lot of products, it is literally just trial and error to see what you prefer to use, whether you like synthetic more, if you like natural more. You are going to be spending a fair bit of money on products just to see what suits you and your grooming style. And the same goes for things like brushes, combs. It's just about what suits your hand as a groomer. Tips, hints, strategies of how to get out of a lull of slow inquiries and less interest from new clientele. I don't think there's anything else but advertising. That is the one constant thing that you have to keep in mind as a business owner. You could do leaflet drop-in, ask your customers to recommend you on their own pages, ask them to give you reviews if they haven't already. You could also share adverts in your local Facebook groups if they allow advertising. There's just so many things that you can do. Personally, I will always format my Instagram and Facebook posts to work as an advert. So if I ever in a pinch need to share a post onto a group, it's already formatted in a way where new potential customers see exactly what I'm about, where I am, all my contact details and everything that is relevant. So that way you can take advantage of the free advertising tools you have with your local groups, or you can even use that same post for a paid ad as well. I find them a bit hit and miss. Sometimes spending that 20 quid on a Facebook advert gives some really good return. So it's worth just trying out, see what happens. You could also sign up for any local summer fairs, have a stand and bring some visibility to your business that way. You could do open days. There's just so many ways you can bring attention to your business without necessarily spending an awful lot of money on it. I would love your thoughts on pricing when starting out, please. There's lots out there saying charge by time against your own overheads, etc., which I get. But newbies are going to be slower and it's difficult to raise prices. Is a temporary discount the answer? Any thoughts? So pricing is probably going to be something that I will do an entirely different video on, but I'm just going to grab onto the bit where newbies charge less money. And I always say that you shouldn't just start a lot cheaper than everyone else around you. Price accordingly to your overheads and, you know, look at your competition, see what everyone else is charging around you, and then as an introductory offer, do some kind of percentage off a first groom, because that way people know that that price is not going to be there forever. They are aware of what the cost is going to be in the future, and by the time you see this same dog in 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, you've had all those dogs in between to practice on. So by the time the first dog comes back in however many weeks, you've had so much more experience behind you and you're going to be far more confident and comfortable grooming that dog that first came in. So maybe that way you feel more justified charging the prices you should be, and then you don't have the difficulty of raising your prices by 10, 15, 20 pounds in one go when you feel like you are more qualified or experienced as a groomer compared to everyone else around you. I know pricing is really, really difficult and it is scary, and you will always have people who try to haggle you and say that, oh, well, I'm just going to go to Pets at Home again and pay 40 quid, which, by the way, Pets at Home prices are fully visible on their website. So if someone's saying that they're getting their cockapoo groom for 40 quid, they are not. They are lying. So stick to your guns. Do not give in to pressure of someone trying to haggle you, because you know what you need to make in order to pay for all of your overheads at work and also pay yourself a wage that covers all of your own outgoings. Because at the end of the day, we are very skilled professionals and we deserve to be paid as such. Okay guys, I think this video is long enough, but if you have got any other questions for me, whether it is something personal to get to know me, something about dog grooming, any product recommendations, anything you can think of, please leave me a comment down below, and also make sure that you like this video because that really helps out my channel, especially when I'm first coming back to long form content again. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.